Hi everyone, you're listening to the Bridgeway podcast. The purpose of these podcasts is to give us the opportunity to share information and thoughts with you and to inspire all of you who work at Bridgeway. As ever, we'd love to hear from you, so if you've got any feedback, please get in touch.
Hi everyone, I'm Lisa Brackner and I'm here today with Abbie Webb, who's coming to the end of her graduate placement with our SiGi team. Abbie, thanks so much for joining me today and agreeing to do this. I'm obviously looking forward to hearing about your time at Bridgeway. How did you come to do your placement with us?
So I'm a student and I'm currently doing a placement at Bridgeway, but I have been studying at the University of Nottingham doing civil engineering. I've done 3 years so far, so next year will be my fourth and my last year. I came to be at Bridgeway because I'm part of the Civil Engineering Society at my university, and in second year we actually did a visit to Bridgeway, so it's a good opportunity to see what a placement will be like for people doing industrial placements. Since it was so close to the uni, we all as a group just came down and got shown around for the afternoon. We were told about Bridgeway and what went on in each department, and we were shown around the offices and the stores. I was quite keen to do a placement locally, and so after hearing about all the different sides to Bridgeway, I applied last year, and then I wasn't accepted long after that.
Did you get the opportunity to go to any other companies, or was Bridgeway
we didn't know, because a lot of the other companies, they won't actually say whether you're working in an office, near to you, far away. They don't really confirm. But with Bridgeway, they were happy to say that we were working in Nottingham, and I kind of wanted a bit of stability, so it was nice to know I'll be definitely here. And,
So, just describe to me some of the things that you've been involved in while you've been here.
Oh, well, I've done a bit of everything, I think. There's two sides to it in our department. It's the office and then being on site. So while I've been on site, I've been able to engineer for windowless sampling, CP, rotary teams. I've engineered for structural pitting and coring, and I've done some monitoring and some trial pitting. While in the office, I've written up logs, factual reports, and sorted lab schedules for samples. So, all sorts really.
And we were just saying before we started this, you put together some case studies, haven't you, in terms of what the different things SI and GI do? Yeah,
so I did a few posters, I think for SPTs, DPs, just that kind of thing. Because I've been looking at a lot of the theory on my course, so it's just been good to see it out on site. But I got the chance to write a poster about them all.
Will you use those at university? Will you take those back with
you?
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So what have you enjoyed the most while you've been here?
Definitely the opportunity to use and see a lot of the field-specific tech and the equipment. For example, like the VRS kit's very useful to be able to get to know and use. I'd say the best part is seeing the rigs and all that kind of equipment out in the field, understanding how the drilling processes work. As I say, I've learnt about it all in my theory, in my geotechnics module, like regarding SPTs and things like that, but actually seeing them being done, it gives me another understanding.
What's an SPT?
SPT, a standard penetration test. It's just a very standard test, but it is,
Should I know that? I don't know. Maybe I should.
I don't know.
So obviously that's the things that you've enjoyed, but there's always something that you dislike, isn't there? Be honest with us, tell us.
I wouldn't say disliked, I would say definitely got used to. Is the varied work hours. Something I've never really had to work around before. Juggling the night shifts, the day shifts, and very early starts. Especially, obviously, having been a student the last 3 years, it's been a shock. I won't lie. But nevertheless, no, it has prepared me for when my life outside of university starts, and it definitely will help me. I'm much more flexible now with that kind of thing. I would say the flexible work hours, probably a bit of a shock at the start, but I've got used to them now. I've conquered them, I reckon.
And obviously it's the first time you've worked on site. How was that, and did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it pretty much is the first time. I did a kind of a short course in surveying for my degree, and we were on site, as you like, but that was very, very different to the work I've been doing this year. Being on site this year has been brilliant. I've never learned so much just by being out there and seeing how a site runs. Everyone pulling together and to get a job done. It has been great to see. The weather hasn't always been great. Not everything goes according to plan, as I'm sure everybody knows. But when you're out there, being able to adapt to the new challenges that present themselves when you're there, working as a team, everyone with their own role, it's been a great experience. Even before I've graduated, it's just brilliant to have that under my belt, really.
So what skills do you feel you've developed while you've been with us?
I'd say the skill I've developed the most is logging. I'd say the most, just the geology side of the job, because before this I had no kind of geology experience. I've been working with the geologists in the department, and then I did the David Norbury course. yeah, it's all been great. I've probably developed that skill the most. I think the most important skill I've come away with is like the knowledge and the confidence in being able to just be on site. So I feel like I could walk onto any site now as an engineer and be comfortable with what's going on around me, just having an understanding of what's going on. It was completely different at the start of the year, because I remember I walked onto a crew night shift, having never been on site ever, and just stood there. Everyone was walking, running around me,
Quite
getting things out of the vans.
Yeah.
I was just kind of stood there watching, waiting. But yeah, I'm far more confident now, and if I am to go on site with my job after uni, I think I would feel right at home, unlike most of the people that I would have graduated with rather. So I mean, yeah, this has been brilliant.
So you mentioned that you'd done a surveying course as part of your degree.
Yeah.
So why did you choose SiGi and not one of the other engineering teams?
Well, not to be impolite, but I did survey, and there is a reason I didn't choose to do it. No, I think it was just a little opportunity to get out on site. It wasn't really surveying. It was just more to work as a team and do a few very general engineering things. But yeah, it wasn't an easy choice picking SiGi. I mean, there is a lot going on at Bridgeway, and I think it just comes down to the site experience. As I've said, this has mostly been about the site experience for me, and the wide variety of jobs that come with SiGi is what led me to choose them. I mean, I've been on tracks, in fields, on a pontoon in a river, coring through a bridge, in subways, and the works have all had different purposes. So from needing to repair existing structures to building new infrastructure, works for bridges and retaining walls, train stations, I mean, the list goes on. The variety in work is definitely why I chose SiGi.
So there's obviously a lot of things that you've experienced there. Is there one particular shift that stands out or that you remember?
Alex Hopkins will know what I'm talking about when I say Calburn Tunnel was by far the most... I don't even know how to describe it. I don't think I've got the words to describe it. It was crazy. It was just a lot of pushing, and the weather was awful, and it was, I mean, definitely something I'll never forget.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
For the wrong reasons or the right reasons?
No, a bit of both. A bit of both.
Yeah. So what key lessons would you take away with you?
So I said it in my year in industry piece, but definitely attention to detail. This has been a big one for me. It has a major impact in any line of work, but especially work where you only, in some cases, have one attempt to recover data. I mean, if you miss it, that's it. So whether it is being on site or in the office, being thorough and accurate, detailed, efficient, continuing to do it consistently is just a requirement of the job. As I said, the greatest lesson I will take away from this is that my errors, however small, can have like really big impacts on projects in the real world. Having not had a full-time job yet, it has been a massive eye-opener, because whilst being in education, obviously the mistakes you make only really impact yourself. When you're working in the real world, mistakes in your work can impact on other people, the client, the company. It's easily overlooked, but yeah, this lesson is vital to anyone coming out of education, especially. And I've truly appreciated this while working at Bridgeway.
So there'll be lots of students out there looking for a placement. What advice would you give them?
I would really say just think about what you want to get out of it. When you're at the end of the year and someone says, you know, what did you learn, or was it worth it? Did you know anything you didn't know before? Just think about what you want your answer to be. I mean, for me, it was very general in terms of just getting out there, seeing how it all runs type of thing. But from the sites to the reports that we do, just seeing a project through from start to finish, I found that Bridgeway could really give me any and every type of site experience, as well as office work, and the ability to see, as I say, a project through from start to finish.
So in terms of, just a question about the students that are on your course, what's the ratio of male to female students?
Oh, it's about 4 to 1.
Okay.
4 to 1 male to female.
Yeah.
Maybe even a bit more.
Yeah. I mean, it is a male-dominated industry, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what would you say to inspire other women into careers in engineering?
I mean, it's a tricky one. I think what drove me personally towards engineering was that it's a field in which real-world changes can be made, be seen everywhere around you. It's very impactful. Every building, bridge, road, etc., the car you drive, all of it. It wouldn't be there without engineers, and it is really, really rewarding, and there's so much to get from it. With it obviously being a very male-dominated field, can feel a bit daunting, obviously. just to throw yourself in it. You never know what you're gonna get. But the more you throw yourself into it, I think the more you get out of it. And I think that's the same with engineering as it is with anything.
Was there something that inspired you at a young age to go into this as a career? When did you know you wanted to go down that path?
I've always been just very interested in seeing how things work. I'm always a child that I was always a child that wanted to know, I don't know, how things worked, and I don't know, the things moving and things standing up, building, Legos and that just general kind of thing. Always just been with me, so I've followed it all the way through.
Was there anybody in your life that was kind of in that field, or
no,
are you the first
not
person
at all.
in your family
I'm
that...
the only person in my family that does anything like this. They all work in London in finance, and they can't understand why I want to be doing this, if I'm honest.
Completely different.
But I love it, So, I am a bit very different to the rest of my family,
So we've been running with a safety campaign, What Safety Means to Me. So what does that mean to you?
Obviously, it's a priority in every line of work. Obviously, this line of work is a bit different to most. And as I've learnt this year, it can be particularly dangerous with our rail work and large rigs and things, heavy equipment. Sometimes safety measures can be seen to be annoying or get in the way of a job getting done quickly. But at the end of the day, if everyone gets home safely, then I guess that's the most important thing, isn't it?
So what's next for you, Abbie? What's your career aspirations? Obviously back to uni, isn't it, soon?
Yeah. I mean, there is a way to go yet. I'm honestly not too sure. Obviously, my final year of uni is just around the corner. Who knows? I think my end goal, my ultimate goal, is to go into designing structures or geotechnical infrastructure. But how I get from here to there, I'm not sure. I'll just have to get my degree sorted and see where to go from there. Couldn't tell you yet.
Are you looking forward to going back to university?
I am, yes. It will be a big change going from uni to uni again. It will be nice to go back to uni just for one more year, but I think I am ready to start.
Ready to do it and get it finished.
Yeah, getting out there,
Is there anything else you want to add before we finished? We've done a few podcasts now. Who do you think we should talk to next? Or who would you like to hear from?
I tell you what, I think I would go with someone who's been at Bridgeway a long time, very interesting in what they do, and they're definitely very good at what they do. I'll go with Dom Whitehead.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of stories to. I reckon he's got a lot of things to share with you. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for your time. Obviously, it's a pleasure catching up with you and hearing about your time at Bridgeway, and I wish you all the very best for the future. You mentioned it earlier. You've done a piece for us, haven't you, on your industry placement with us, which we'll be publishing on our website as a little case study, so people can look out for that. Yes. So thanks very much, Abbie.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Thank you.